Yo, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Icepop here, bringing you a YouTube video on the Prometheus Lens. Now, this exotic has been talked all over YouTube for the Destiny community. It is being sold by Xur right now for, I believe, 23-ish of those legendary shards. If you have not picked one up yet, I highly encourage you to do it. Because as of right now, I only played one game in Crucible, and I couldn't handle it because everyone is using this weapon because it is just that good. So I'm just going to use this gameplay in the background while I talk about PvP. Also in this video, I'll talk about PvP and I'll get into that in a minute. But for PvP, this weapon is a monster. So I don't know if many of you used Coldheart back when that came out, the PlayStation exclusive. That gun is very good in Crucible, great range. This one is similar. It does have less ammo, where the Coldheart has about 101 per mag and this one has 77. However, the exotic perk with this exotic is that when you get a kill, it refunds some of your ammo from reserve. And in PvE, I saw is roughly 30-ish energy. It's not quite bullets, so energy or whatever. But the thing that makes this so good is that when you tag someone, it does an extra explosion damage. And that explosion damage is a really big deal because in the video, I'll throw up a screenshot real quick. So it's kind of hard to find a screenshot of this, but as you can see, I seem to do about 8 damage per body shot. Oddly enough, I also do 8 precision damage. I'm not sure why that's the case, so there's almost no incentive to go for a precision hit. So now you might be wondering, why is this weapon so good then? Well, as I just mentioned before, that explosion damage seems to do about 15 damage per explosion thing. I'm not quite sure how it works, but as you shoot someone, the laser tags them. It does a 15 damage explosion. But it's not just one 15. It almost seems like there's 3 15 damage animations going on at once. As you can see there was like a couple, which is about 30% damage, which is almost 50, which is almost a fourth of all the damage in your health. And so that was just from a little beam and tagging, where if I kept that up, that would have built up over time and just is a very powerful way to kill people. And I don't know what Bungie was entirely thinking, because that does more damage than a single laser tick, which to me seems kind of broken. But I don't know, for PvE it's very fun, but in Crucible that's very unfair. It reminds me of Thorn, where you could just tag someone and then run away and they could just burn to death. Where here, if they're at a sliver health, you can kind of run away and they'll eventually just die off. Which is kind of strange, because there's no weapon in Destiny 2 as of right now that performs in this way. So this weapon's unique, very broken in player versus player, but it's kind of fun. It's really crazy to see everyone using this weapon in Crucible right now. I'm sure Bungie will change it soon, so if you want to use this overpowered weapon and buy it from Xur, it's only 23 legendary shards, so I highly recommend it. But this isn't only good in PvP, it's also good in PvE. And in fact, I even think it's better than the Coldheart in PvE. For example, I think Coldheart is better against bosses because one of the perks has increased damage the longer the laser is on the target. So for bosses who stand still, definitely I would prefer Coldheart. Or this weapon definitely does do damage because of the extra explosion thing, as you can see in that Minotaur. It affects him and people nearby for that explosion thing. However, for bosses, I think Coldheart does more damage. But in most scenarios, you're not always fighting a boss, you're trying to clear ads moving towards the boss. And one of the exotic perks that's on the Prometheus Lens is when you kill someone, ammo gets pulled from your reserve back into your clip. So although Prometheus Lens only has 77 rounds per clip, and Coldheart has 101, in a sense, if you use Prometheus Lens the way it should be used, which is against smaller tier enemies, you will get more ammo out of your clip than Coldheart itself. So in that aspect, I would say Prometheus Lens is better for ads, but good against bosses, whereas Coldheart is better against bosses and good for ads. And so overall, I would say for a damage dealing exotic, I would rather have more damage go towards ads than a boss. That's what I feel like heavy ammo is for. Even then, a primary weapon or Prometheus Lens / Coldheart can definitely do damage against the boss. So in that sense, I almost like Prometheus Lens even better, but unfortunately, I do believe Bungie will nerf this weapon soon, and unfortunately PvP is probably going to take this weapon down with it, because weapons have to, I guess, in Destiny 2 be correlated in PvE and PvP, there's no separation like I wish there were. Because who wouldn't want an overpowered weapon against enemies like aliens? That would just be fun. So unfortunately, Crucible is going to make it a lot worse whenever Bungie decides to nerf it. Until then, it's a very fun weapon. I can still see it being viable in PvE. I think it's a fun weapon to pick up. Let me know, guys, in the comments down below what you guys think. If you have this weapon already, what are your thoughts, whether you like it or not. And let me know, if this weapon were to be nerfed, what do you think you would change if you had Bungie's ability to change weapons? So again, let me know in the comments below. That about does it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in another video.